People make over $200,000 a year, what do you do? Posted last week asking people how they make six figures and got some amazing responses. Now I am curious, for those of you that make $250,000 or more, what do you do? Fiction author here. This is usually seen as an unreliable career choice, and that is largely true. However, it's possible to make it work. I've been lucky, screen adaptation deals, etc., but I've also diversified my income stream to include writing workshops, teaching executives and product managers how to communicate more effectively about technology, corporate consulting, helping brands and companies tell their story, nonfiction, essays and investigative pieces, think tank and policy work, mostly leading narrative workshops for scientists, and similar work that uses my skill in storytelling in other ways. When I started, it was super hard and I had to pursue the writing as a side gig. But I've been able to make $300,000 and up every year for 6 years now. I love my work. I get to make up stories for a living, and when I'm not writing my own novels, I get to help smart people with incredible knowledge and experiences of the world tell their own stories. Plus, I get to set my own hours and play video games with my kids when other people are still in the office. 10-year-old me would not have believed that a job like this existed. Found James Patterson's Reddit account. LOL. I wish I had that kind of sales. Captain at a US major airline. Wife is a first officer at the same company. How long did it take you to get there? I'm getting my medical today and starting ground school this week. I did everything at small FBOs and it took me about 3 years. While flight training, I also worked as a fueler at the FBO where I was taking flight lessons. I earned my degree at the same time from a local college. Began late 1994, had my first commercial job late summer 1997. Went through a shitty little commuter airline 1998 to 2001 and was hired by my present company in 2001. I was flying a DC-9 from Atlanta to LaGuardia when 9/11 happened, coincidentally. Woodworker. I have relationships with high-end interior designers in NYC but don't live there. My work appears regularly in magazines and galleries. Ron Swanson just casually walks in to comment, huh? His picture hangs in my shop. Construction project manager. It's really a hybrid role of sales, estimating, and project management. That's the only reason that I can make that much in my area without travel. There are not many people that can effectively do all three. I own a Christmas lights company that also does tree care. Service-based companies like landscaping, cleaning, and window washing make great money. All you need is a little grit and some time, and in a few years you can be making really good money only working part-time. Landscape construction and snow removal company owner here. Make $250K easy and invest another $100K into my business that has over $1.5 million in physical assets. I mostly read emails and go over day to day with my GM each day. Once you start getting large big box contracts, you are flying. I pay my guys exceptionally well also. Etsy. Embroider on handkerchiefs for wedding gifts. Hit $200,000 in 2017 and maintained. During COVID was able to pivot to personalized masks and hit $300,000. My formal education ended after 7th grade, life interfered, but thanks to the internet and being fairly literate I was able to teach myself what was needed to build a home business. Wasn't easy by any means, and I barely slept from age 22 to 25 to get it off the ground, but it paid off. Anybody here who changed career in their 30s and now make that amount? I need comfort. I was a waiter until I was 30 before I joined a sales team. Now I'm a marketing director, $350 to $400,000-ish. I became an airline pilot at 36, started school for it at 33. I'm not above $250K yet, but probably close to $125K, and it's my first year. Should be at $250K in the next couple of years. The best part, I average 6 days of actual work each month. Pilot. Work about 14 days a month. Spend about 8 nights away from home per month on average. Spouse is in information security and teaches at some universities, over $300,000. Information security, so hot right now. As well as AI, data science, big data. Say any of those words and management thinks you're gold, even if they don't really know what those things are. I own a law firm in Charlotte, North Carolina. One partner along with myself, and 4 other lawyers and 1 firm administrator. We handle business law, M&A, new business startup, contract drafting, IP protection, and high-stakes litigation. We're all remote, and keep costs in check to maximize profits. Also a lawyer here who owns a firm. I work part-time, about 25 to 30 hours per week, and am just on the cusp of $200,000, too. As someone who makes 55-60K/year working a labor-intensive job to support a family of 5, this thread has made me depressed. Honestly, this is why jobs/careers that owe you hourly, or for your time are a fool's errand. Gotta find something where your time isn't a set value. AKA hourly. Then, the money can grow exponentially without increasing hours. GP running own practice, $500K. In the same vein, I'm an employed hospitalist, $300K. Generally work less than 40 hours per week. I have colleagues who are workhorses and take every opportunity to work more who probably double that. Registered nurse in a LCOL state. I work at a hospital with unlimited OT. Will gross $225,000 plus this year. What's your base for 2,080 hours? Base is around $110,000 with around 40 hours of OT per week. Anesthetist, 40 hours a week plus call $270,000. 2 adults in this house both at that income level. One is a supply chain director at a Fortune 500. The other is a marketing senior director. Both are nearing 20 years in our careers and just cracked $200,000 base comp. With bonuses we hit about 3 years ago. Big fan of this answer BC. It's a more relatable answer than just tech. I'm in the same boat, 18 years in manufacturing/ops management and just cracked $200,000 base comp. Similarly, but $200,000 about 3 years in total comp as well. Slow and steady. General sales manager/general manager at an RV dealership, auto is the same. How much of that is commission? About $200,000 plus. $48,000 salary. Journeyman lineman. At first I thought you meant you were an NFL player going from team to team. That's probably more safe actually. Product manager big tech. About 400-450K depending on stock. I'm 32F. My first job was $40,000. These jobs feel impossible to get. Being a product manager in big tech is very competitive because it's basically the most desirable job in tech, unless you absolutely love coding. It pays just as much as a software engineer, but doesn't require you to ship software and fix bugs, and in practice gets a lot more exec face time and advancement opportunities plus exit opportunities into other business roles. The most tried and true way to become a PM is to join a company as a SWE and try to convert to a PM. Or just apply to PM jobs after you have a decent amount of SWE experience. A small number of PMs do get hired directly out of college as product managers with no SWE experience, but they almost always have at least one of one. Had PM internships, also very hard to get, at competitive places too. Got a CS degree and went to an Ivy League caliber university. Usually both. Is it as easy as I imagine? All my product manager does is check in on people to see if they've done work. They don't know anything. This sounds like a project manager, not a product manager.